Three-point shot for the 6'10 junior from Orlando.
They've been raking if the ball goes inside, trying to dig in. A nice cut by O'Connell. How about the acknowledgement?
Yeah. After sitting down after picking up an early foul. And
look at this pressure.
Delorier is able to take it away.
Numbers.
Jones. O'Connell.
Boy, when you have options like that, that's the...
We're going to get his kid brother.
2 for 1. 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Not a bad deal.
Tell you what, I want to give a special shout out and get well message to Trey and Ty's mother, Debbie Jones, who was diagnosed with breast cancer and is certainly recovering well. And we send our love to her, and obviously hope the Jones family is able to deal as we get through this tough time. Bigger than yourself.
Yeah. He came here with credentials too, but he was going to sit out the year, but it's going to now be a year used. We have 6.5 to go. After a competitive first half by the Bison, down just 4 at the intermission.
Hey, you were talking about Allery and Johnny Dawkins. Nice little drive, mixing the game up a little bit. A little squisher. Man has been really messed up his coaching career, didn't it?
Going to be his 95th win in the NCAA tournament. Now, I mentioned earlier, 5 more. Just think about it. If he gets it in Minneapolis, he's number 100.
How the game at Duke started. You know, Duke had an early 12-point lead because of that pressure, and then Trey Jones was injured, and that pressure kind of went away, and all of a sudden, you know, Syracuse didn't have to turn its back anymore. They weren't forced further out on the floor, and they could start throwing punches.
O'Connell, who made 9 threes in the
half dozen already. 0 for 6 from 3 over his last 4 games. That'll be a big confidence boost for him, but he's got to be aggressive. Continue to be aggressive when he catches the ball on the offensive end. I like the way he started so far.
and knocking it down from the corner. That's on right. Alex O'Connell driving. O'Connell fires his own and one.
The side ball screen when Duke has run ball screens with R.J. Barrett's been really good. It's the middle one that they've struggled with.
Alex O'Connell and delivers the 3-ball.
Zundu, a senior out of Charlotte, and a quick hit.
They don't have a proven post player, so the paint points have decreased.
Anthony Lawrence got himself into trouble. This is O'Connell at the other end, taking flight, and he banks it down. By Marvin Bagley. Here comes Vasilovic. Great look, but Zundu wasn't ready for it. O'Connell ahead of the field. And that was
that wing defender pinch. And it's an easy catch and shoot for Reddish.
Reddish leads the ACC in threes made. Now it's 73 on the season. The average is 2.67 a game. That's the 3rd best in the conference.
Overlook, wow. Nice
O'Connell, that's good.
Focus in. I think we saw a very sharp, mentally and physically, Duke team today.
Last Miami bucket by Willie Harrington.
What a nice screen by Kerry Blackshear to create that opening to get that shot off.
Hill had been just 6 of his last 42 over his last 7 games, coinciding with Justin Robinson not playing. So that one will help. Alex O'Connell lets it go, and O'Connell is... They've kept the Blue Devils out of the paint. They're hounding R.J. Barrett now. Barrett to O'Connell. Alex O'Connell for 3.
Elijah Hughes to extend the Syracuse lead to 3.
Well, the scoring for Syracuse has come from Frank Howard and Elijah Hughes. Everybody else really struggling. And this guy for Duke, Barrett, is where most of the scoring is coming from. A terrific baseline to the ball game. And he's brought Joey Baker off red shirt, who's played in the first half. Alex O'Connell trying to switch things up. And then Trey Jones now in the middle of the zone. There he flashes in there again. One thing you haven't seen Duke do as much of is screening the zone.
Barrett gives it up cross court. O'Connell for 3.
A terrific job. Point guard Hughes.
Reddish dumped down. And Dolezaj got a piece of it. Laurier stays with him, but can't finish.
I thought he got fouled there.
Bodies on the deck all over the place. O'Connell sinks it.
Now with Udoka Azubuike and LeGerald Vick, seemingly LeGerald Vick also gone for the season. Azubuike out with injury. They don't have any starters now from the team that went to the Final Four last year.
O'Connell.
Well, he's feeling it.
Yep.
You let him
ball well at all, and for a while struggled for playing time, but he has really come on recently. He's had 3 or more threes, Jay, 7 times. 6 of them have come in conference games. O'Connell with his 5th three.
picked up his dribble
and lost it. Well, he reached out and grabbed O'Connell. They don't call it. There's 16 points, 17 rebounds for Zion Williamson.
Oh, look at him. Uh-oh. Yeah.
And you can just see how they respond to Trey Jones on the court. When he gets them set up, tells them what to do, they listen to him. He's got great leadership qualities for a freshman.
Right, very cerebral, understands how to play. Learned a lot from his brother. His brother now in the NBA with Minnesota.
O'Connell thought about it. The long 2 is there.
Well, you know, he got the big tonight. St. Mary's.
Listen, we had the man here distributing the time. Dan did a great job. No one got hurt.
No one got hurt. We tried to keep our turnover total low. But, we did all right.
And also, I think the biggest victory is he hits that shot.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think New England's going to win. But I did grow up a Rams fan, and I'm a huge fan of Sean McVay. How about that? He'd be the youngest coach to ever win a Super Bowl, and Bill Belichick would be the oldest. Now Alex O'Connell knocking it.
Bray came here to Notre Dame. In fact, after the 06-07 season, Bray reached out to Krzyzewski because he was at a crossroads. He didn't know if he wanted to stay here at Notre Dame. He said he called him up, and Kay told him, "You fell in."
Yeah, it was a tough take, and really nice defense by Trey Jones that time, but he didn't get beat off the dribble much. But Alvarado, talk about fearless.
7 for the sophomore. Barrett crosses for Reddish. O'Connell slides in. In the corner, Zion thought about a 3, long 2 instead. O'Connell brings it up in front.
All right, Bones, and you certainly hope he's okay and he'll be able to come back. But Syracuse has really fought in this game and clawed its way back.
Led by Battle with 16 points now. Syracuse has done a better job of surrounding Williamson when he gets the ball in the lane. Hughes with 15 points.
Well, the ball screen action has really been difficult for Duke to guard. A little handoff switch, then right into a ball screen and a wide open shot.
Alex O'Connell responds.
Syracuse turned the ball over, just turning the corner.
R.J. Bray way short with a deep 3. Run down by White.
Brissett got a piece of that. Good ball movement.
And O'Connell for 3. Has all 9 of his points since the half. Came in averaging under 7 points per game after scoring 14.5 per game last year.
I'd let Zion touch it in the middle of that zone. Like Bolden needs to get along the baseline, let Zion operate.
O'Connell. Williamson with a shot clock running down into traffic. O'Connell. Desperation shot. And it goes from the minutes. Was outstanding, but injured his shoulder and has not returned. So Duke has played the entire game without one of its starters and most of it without another.
See, that's where Frank Howard should have gone, tried to go by Marquise Bolden.
O'Connell and
now he finally gets back on defense. That's a second-grade drive he's made, but he's coming back to them both. Rainbow jumper not there for Barrett. Absolutely, Holly, no question about it. They're like turnovers, man. They got to watch those lateral passes. Trey Jones creates the turnover, and the
They're looking inside for Bolden, but the zone has collapsed against him. O'Connell from deep. Got it.
The floor. And we were talking about Duke defensively, and we talked about the block shots. We see another one from Marquise Bolden. I believe that could be 3 to 4 for him on the night.
The 8th for the team. And it's O'Connell with the
season goes along.
White with the steal. He wants it all. Tip-ins there.
And Reynolds with the slam.
Too easy of a blow by off the dribble drive. Help side comes again and no rotation.
O'Connell.
Power due to violations.
Bruner picked up the dribble. That opens the door for O'Connell with the tomahawk.
Yeah, I got to give this Hartford Hawks crew a lot of credit. I mean, short on numbers, and they controlled the tempo of the game, especially with the 2-3 zone. They were patient in their offense, moving it from side to side, able to get dribble penetration. But
if you don't know America East,
coach of UConn, the last 10 years, he's lost to Muffet McGraw 8 times. Against everybody else, he's lost 6 times.
Which is the reason I'll be tuned in to watch that game.
It's 4 Eastern tomorrow right here on ESPN2. Team is and how much they still have to learn. They're 6-1. And they're really young. This is one of the youngest starting lineups.
The program started out with a great November just a year ago with 4 freshmen in the starting lineup and lost game 1 in ACC play. I'm not sure.
Banked in at the buzzer for Seiko. McConnell pulls up. Haven't said a hit with Zion Williamson where he went over and set that screen. And I mean, how are you going to get around Zion Williamson? When he decides to screen you, you are going to stay screened for a little while. McConnell again. He can do that.
During the national anthem. Fabulous. So shout out to him and to her.
Yep. 3 ball by O'Connell. A strong finish a year ago, and you see the 8-0 run by the Eagles here.
23 points in his last game, 5 threes, and sat out the first game, but has come back strong for them. I think there'll be a chance to be a good, a good sub for them. Off, give them some scoring off the bench.
No question. You hear the crowd count down the clock, and O'Connell responds with a runner. Under 4 we go. Duke on the way to 3-0. They'll get Steve Fisher and San Diego State on Monday out at the Lahaina Civic Center as O'Connell.
Father and his grandfather, and again on this Veterans Day, we celebrate those who have chosen to serve.
O'Connell buries the quickly, and a little spurt here and there by Kentucky in the first half. All Duke in the second half. Reddish has a nice pace about him with the basketball. And it went from side to side, baseline drive, baseline drift. Behind the back, Jones. Extra pass from White. O'Connell again. North Carolina, Louisville, and the SEC is going to be a bear this year. A lot of good teams in the SEC.
Well, Tennessee returns just about everybody. And Admiral Schofield has improved.